What up, Fight fam? We are back. My name is Marco from the Fightcast. This is the 10-minute breakdown. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I know I did. I went home to visit some friends and some family. Got to see my nephews, so that was great. For those of you who celebrate Easter, happy Easter. And for those of you who don't, hope you guys had a good weekend as well. We have Showtime Porter versus BERTO for the 147 title eliminator bout. So I'm assuming whoever wins this fight would be number one contender or next in line to fight Keith One-Time Thurman, who just got a very good performance over Danny Garcia to unify the titles. This fight has all the makings to be fight of the year, a fight of the year candidate. Sean Porter always brings action, volume puncher, brings the pressure, likes to make the fight ugly. And BERTO is very explosive, likes the inside fight, very good, very strong, very good uppercuts and hooks. So this has all the potential to be a fight of the night with a couple of knockdowns. Even I think it's gonna be a couple of knockdowns in this fight. We're gonna start off with Sean Porter. Fun fact with Sean Porter: he started his amateur career was at 165, and he started his professional career I think at 160. He had two fights at 160 and then eventually made his way down to 147, which I think was a great idea because obviously his career has really blemished at the 147 division. He was a very strong kid. Played football, so I guess he was carrying around a lot of weight and was able to make that 147 cut pretty easy. And I never heard of him have any weight cut problems. Of course, his dad's trained him, so he's one of those fighters who never really gets out of shape. When your dad's on top of you 24/7 or as your coach, there's very little time to slack off because you have someone who really cares and really wants you to do good behind you 24/7, not just in the gym but at home. I mean, I don't know if they live together, but and of course he has been his coach for all his amateur career. So when they did live together, he already instilled those mentality, that work ethic. So Sean Porter's a hell of a worker, man. Hell of a hard worker. Always comes in shape. I've never seen him out of shape. And always comes to bring the fight. So this is a very interesting fight for him. He just lost. His only losses on his record was against Kell Brook and of course against Keith Thurman. He is 26-2. Again, those losses being those two fighters. Most noticeable fights was when he fought Julio Diaz. That was his first time. He was an undefeated fighter. His first time really fighting a very crafty veteran in Julio Diaz. He was able to come and get a draw, close fight. He was able to start fast, but Julio Diaz kind of edged his way back in mid to finish off the fight and got a draw. He did come back a couple months later and fought him again and was able to make some changes and get a unanimous decision win. He's fought Devin Alexander. That was an impressive win against Devin Alexander. That was, even though it was a split decision, which I think it was a little bit more convincing than that. Great performance there. One of his most noticeable wins was against Paulie Malignaggi, who just came off and beating Zab Judah, who's still very good boxer, good speed, and great chin, and was able to stop him in the fourth round. I've never seen anyone destroy or take out Paulie Malignaggi the way he did. And of course, he had a majority decision loss to Kell Brook. And after that fight, he went on to fight Adrian Broner and got a pretty easy unanimous decision win, even though he was dropped in the last round, I think. But he came right back up, shook it off. Wasn't even hurt. That's the thing with Sean Porter. I've seen him hurt before, but I've never seen him. He has a really hard chin. Like he got cracked by Keith One-Time Thurman with a hook to the head and was able to kind of bounce back and even hurt Thurman later on in that round, or later on in that fight at least. So he has a lot of heart. He has a lot of conditioning. He's in shape and can take a punch. That's going to be a very important for this fight when he's fighting BERTO, who's a very strong fighter, very powerful fighter. Showtime Porter keys to victory would be fight he has to start. He has to start quick. He has to start fast with Andre Berto. He needs to establish dominance and not respect him. Get inside, work the body, make it an ugly fight. Really bring that pressure from bell to bell, and get Andre Berto off of his game. Andre Berto is a very emotional fighter, so I've seen him. Even though he has a lot of heart, I've seen him break before. He broke against the Ortiz fight when they first fought in 2011. And he broke against Eddie Guerrero. He was getting dominated pretty much through the whole fight. So when you bring that relentless pressure on him, he tends to either rise to the occasion or fold, and just depending on what kind of Andre Berto you're gonna get. Second key to victory is work the body. He needs to zap Andre Berto's energy. Andre Berto is very explosive, so he's most dangerous in the beginning stages of the fight, which is probably maybe round 1 through 6. After that, he tends to fade a little bit, but he's still very dangerous. He still carries power in both hands at all times and has a nasty uppercut. Third key to victory is keep Andre Berto off the rope. He's not a very good boxer. He likes to inside fight, and he's not really good at inside fighting when he's back against the rope. We saw that when he fought Robert Guerrero, who was able to pick him apart against the rope. So, and that's where Sean Porter shines the most, when he gets an opponent on the ropes and he's digging hooks to the body, cracking him over the head. Very ugly style fighting. Very not I wouldn't say dirty boxing, but making an ugly, grueling fight. And that's what Sean Porter needs to do to really break down Andre Berto. That being said, we're gonna move to Andre Berto. He is 31-4, only lost 4 fights. His most recent victory was against Victor Ortiz, and of course he did have his most noticeable fights were against. Of course, he did fight Mayweather and lost the unanimous decision. Mayweather was really able to pick him apart. He lost. He got a win over Josecito Lopez. Before that, and what was interesting, when he fought Victor Ortiz in 2011, and that was really a turning point for both these fighters' career, which Berto has a really up and down career, and it kind of turned at this point in 2011 when he fought Victor Ortiz. This was a very, very interesting fight for both of them. They both came out very strong. Ortiz was able to drop Berto, I think 2 or 3 times during the fight. Andre Berto did come back and drop Ortiz a couple times in that fight, or 1 or 2 times in that fight. But after a while, you really saw Ortiz kind of set in finally. He didn't get too reckless and was able to pretty much outbox Andre Berto for 12 rounds and lost a unanimous decision to Ortiz. After that, Ortiz went on and fought Mayweather. We all know how that shit went on, how that shit happened. And then Berto kind of went on a stump after that. He fought Jesus Soto Caras and lost the decision to him. And then of course he fought Robert Guerrero and lost against him. It wasn't until recently until he fought Josecito Lopez and TKO'd him, and then got a fight with Victor Ortiz again in 2016, and was able to kind of rebound. And I think he has a home now with Virgil Hunter. So I think that's been doing wonders for him. And again, he was able to not only avenge his loss against Victor Ortiz, but he's able to knock him out. So you lose a close fight to a challenger, and a couple years later you challenge him and knock him out. You can only see, obviously, Ortiz's mindset's in a different place, but it just goes to show you that he has improved throughout the years. He caught Ortiz with a nasty uppercut. Ortiz even dropped him. Not to mention, Ortiz dropped him in the first round, I think. And Berto was able to stay calm, stay composed, wasn't really hurt, and was able to get Ortiz with a nice uppercut, and pretty much it was over after that. So it does a lot for your mentality, getting in there and avenging a loss from someone who knocked you out and you had a war with, and was able to get him out there pretty easily. It has to help out your mentality coming in. Again, he's had a very up and down career. His highlight was against obviously fighting Mayweather, getting a nice paycheck, but Mayweather was just too much of a skilled boxer for Berto. When I think Berto, I think he's a very explosive fighter. He's very heavy-handed and likes to not an outstanding boxer, but he has been able to use the jab in a couple fights. He has a lot of speed, a lot of heart. a lot of power. But why I say he has a lot of heart, it comes to the question sometimes. You know what I mean? It came to question when he fought Jesus Otocaras, when he fought Ortiz, when he fought Mayweather, when he fought Robert Guerrero. Not that he gave up, but when he finds him in a difficult position, it's hard for him to come back. I'm not saying that he's a quitter, but when he gets pushed to the edge, sometimes it's very hard for him mentally to come back, and that's kind of been his story. His family always been fighters. I know his dad was, I think, a former MMA fighter. I know his brother's a professional MMA fighter as well. So he has that fight family in him. Not to mention that in the earthquakes in Haiti a couple years back, he was scheduled to fight Mosley, and I think 6 of his family members died in that earthquake. So that really shook him up. So he can tell that he's a very emotional guy, and that could be good, and sometimes it could be bad. Again, when you carry that much emotion to you in a fight or anything, sometimes emotions can get the best of you. But other than that, I think he's on his right track with Virgil Hunter. And again, he's making leaps and bounds to where he used to be. Andre Berto's key to victory is start fast as well. He can't let Sean Porter dictate the pace of the fight, because he's going to be on the ropes and backing up for all 12 rounds. When Sean Porter doesn't respect your power, he's just going to go relentless and going to go in there and really try to break you down, work your body, and get into your and hit you over the top with some nice shots. So he has to get Sean Porter's respect early, and he needs to set up the jab a little bit. And by jab, I mean he doesn't need to box. He doesn't need to try to outbox Porter, which I think Porter's a pretty good boxer. But he needs to set up that jab for my third kick to victory. His uppercut. His uppercut is very dangerous. He caught Victor Ortiz with it. Sean Porter tends to lead in a lot with his head and leaves him exposed for an uppercut. So if Berto's able to catch this powerful uppercut on Porter, I think he's gonna be able to drop and hurt Porter in that fight and hopefully stop him. For me, this is a close fight, and I kind of switched back. I had Berto winning this fight, but I think re-looking through this fight, I have Sean Porter winning this fight. Here's why. I think he's gonna be able to really put the pressure on Berto and take him to deep waters. And what I can't see him hurting Porter. I think Porter's chin is tough enough to take the shots that Berto gives him, and is gonna break him down throughout the fight. I think Sean Porter is gonna be able to get a unanimous decision win over Berto, and go in with another rematch, and then go on and get a rematch with Keith Thurman. It'll be interesting, Sean Porter versus Keith Thurman, but Andre Berto versus Keith Thurman. But I don't think at this age of 33, not that he's over the hill, but I don't think he has the kind of endurance or the skills really, as fucked up as it sounds, the skills really to beat a very young, very powerful, very strong, and very what's it called? Very conditioned Sean Porter. So I think Sean Porter is going to win by unanimous decision. Maybe a couple of knockdowns, but I am choosing him to win this fight. All right, guys. Thank y'all for stopping by. That's it. That is the 10-minute breakdown. We're at 14 minutes. Not bad. Hope everyone has a great week. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for stopping by. Shout out to my boy Benny P. And we're out this bitch. Later, man.